The Prime Minister is kick-starting his campaign in Firozpur, his first since the repeal of the farm bills. We have with us Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri. Sir, this is going to be testing waters. You've been in alliance with Shrimani Akali Dal earlier. Now you have a fresh alliance with the PLC and with Jinsa's party. How are you seeing this? Is it going to be a shot in the arm for all these parties with Prime Minister coming?
Well, I'll tell you, it's not just the Prime Minister coming in. Which Prime Minister is this? Here is a man who, in the period between 2014 and 2021, has given development an altogether new name. I mean, I'm very fond of quoting some statistics with which I am familiar. I mean, look at the urban scene. What he has done there in terms of the programs, the total spend on the urban sector has gone up 8 times since the 10-year period of 2004 and 14. He's a Prime Minister who means business and who delivers. He's a Prime
We're expecting big ticket announcement, 42,000 crore rupees is the sort of...
First of all, you are a very senior journalist. You and I have talked earlier. It would be completely incorrect for me, even if I knew, to speculate on the announcements that the Prime Minister is going to take. That's not how it happens. No cabinet minister, anticipates what the Prime Minister is going to say. All I can tell you is that if you go by the track record of the Prime Minister, both during the pandemic and what he did for Punjab, what he did for the Sikhs, that paints a picture. Look, let me tell you, for Punjab, let me give you a small example. The rally is taking place on the sacred soil of Firozpur. You know, Firozpur has a very important...
The land of the martyrs.
The land of the martyrs. I mean, this is a place where the 3 martyrs, nearby to where the rally is. Sargadi Gurdwara Sahib is here. 1845, the British attacked the Sikh forces and they were able to cross the Satluj. So, Firozpur has a great significance in all this. But the issue is, the context is the present context. The present context is what?
Right, sir.
Let me give you 41 oxygen plants have been provided, PSA plants in Punjab. Out of these, 2 have been provided in Firozpur district itself.
Interesting that you bring this up, because we are looking at a 3rd wave of COVID. We've seen several ministers falling prey to that. But I also see that there are rallies which are happening and several of...
Let me come to that. Let me complete and I'll happily answer all your questions. 1 in Firozpur District Hospital, 1 in Zira, okay? Amritsar Sahib, 5 PSA oxygen, all from PM Cares. Prime Minister's commitment to the Sikh community, to Punjab, I mean, opening the Kartarpur Sahib corridor, the highway, which is going to be inaugurated tomorrow. So many other things. He stands committed to Punjab. That is the issue. The political message, if he is having a rally in Firozpur, is a very significant political message in and of itself. You talked about the 3rd wave. Look, all I can tell you is, as of earlier today, 147 crore vaccine doses had been freely distributed to our citizens. 147 crores. Our population...
So that sounds great. Vaccination and, boosting and amplifying stock. But also, what we've seen is, we are looking at 1 lakh or up to 2 lakh or maybe 3 lakh people who will be in the rally. How will you maintain social distancing? How will you ensure? Because Kejriwal was here just a few days ago. He's come COVID-19 positive. He's been going around in rallies. And now we've seen that there seems to be a...
Well, first, there are 2 issues involved. One is decisions on whether a rally should take place or a decision on whether polls should be held at a particular point of time. These are decisions taken by the Election Commission. I know in the case of UP, I was there yesterday, and the Election Commission had visited there, and all the parties said, no, have the polls as per on time. Look, Kamalji, I have only 2 points to make. One is that we prepare. Today, we are very well prepared for the 3rd wave. I am not going to get into the medical debate. My colleague, Mr. Mandavia, is here. I'm sure you can ask him. But if there is a spread, whether you're vaccinated, double vaccinated, you should be able to weather it and deal with it with relative ease. Now, that's not a decision for me to make. He is in touch on a daily basis with all the...
Now that what we've seen is it's largely been left to the states. But there's also a talk about BJP being okay with virtual rallies. Are we looking that in immediate?
Now, I would love to answer that question if I knew the answer. Why? For the simple reason, the decision on whether we're having a virtual rally or this is a decision between the people who have to take the decision. Let me share two things with you. BJP has always respected cooperative federalism. During the pandemic, especially the second wave, the Prime Minister personally was having discussions with the chief ministers of the state governments and taking their advice and factoring it in. Now, if some states want that, I'm sure they will take a view on that.
Moving on politically, you're looking at a new alliance. You've actually severed ties with Shiromani Akali Dal. How are you looking at this alliance, considering that there's going to be protests by the farmers, there is opposition which is up in arms against the BJP, saying the repeal of farm bills is not going to do much for the BJP. How are you looking at that?
First of all, I'm looking at it very positively. Because you asked me the question, how are you looking at it? I am looking at it very positively. You know, that Gathbandhan, which we had with the Akalis, was a one-sided alliance. Out of 117 seats in the assembly, we were only consulting 20 or 23 or something at the maximum. We have only 3 MLAs now left with 2. And we have only 5% of the vote share. So let me share my assessment with you. We will go up astronomically. We will go up very large. I am not in a position. I visit to Punjab. I was in Amritsar a few days ago. And I'm quite happy to talk to you as we go along. This is a contest which is fragmented, all right? I'm not here to share with you. I mean, if you look at the Akalis, I don't want to comment on what's happening inside the Akalis. If you want to look at the Congress, there is a civil war going on with evidence between one against the other. Yesterday, somebody was speculating that one of the more vocal critics might even leave. If you look at what is happening in the Aam Aadmi Party also, I'm quite happy to share my views with you informally. It's not for me as a BJP Karyakarta to be commenting on what's happening in the other parties. I am very, very optimistic and positive. But this is the start of the process. A kind of discussions on how do you think this will shape out is a discussion which is had either midway or when we are reaching a point of...
What about the outreach to the farmers? They are the ones, at least 9
Believe me, there are discussions going on. There are discussions will go on between different people. They also want to do this. You can't have a situation where you agitate if there are laws, you agitate even if the laws have been repealed. They got what they wanted. I was sharing with you before you came in with the...
Is it going to mar the rally? Is it going to tamp it down? Because we also hear there will be rains and heavy rains are expected.
Well, let me tell you one thing. I'm telling you, there's the optimist in me. I feel very positive. Whether there is rain or there is other weather issues, you know, the weather gods will be very kind. And I'm telling you, sometimes these things are very auspicious also. All I'm saying to you is there is a new feeling. I've been in Punjab, I've been in Chandigarh, I've been in Amritsar, I've been here. And I see a lot of enthusiasm amongst the BJP party, amongst the workers and all those. And it's a process that has just begun.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.